Pelicans defeat the New York Knicks and improve to 2-0 on the year with a 96-87 victory. Let's talk about it.
Took away. That's the best. Get your money's worth.
Here with Lido, presented to you by the Birdsall Law Firm, the official injury lawyers of Pro Pels Talk, located 19 Poetry Street by the Superdome. Give them the call at 504-523-5413 if you're someone you know has been involved in an accident. Birdsall Law Firm, the official injury lawyers of Pro Pels Talk. Lido, I'm going to just start with this. Herb Jones, if he doesn't make an all-NBA defensive team this year, there needs to be anarchy. What he did tonight was ridiculous.
Check this out. Herb Jones was 2 for 2 from 3. JV owes him one because he should have been 3 for 3 with that illegal pick that he set. Herb had what's my man name?
Who's that?
Brunson? My man, I know his name. I just want to forget like I don't know his name. I want to pretend like I don't know his name.
Oh, is he not on the show?
No. Jalen Brunson. That's what I'm talking about. But I'm saying I don't remember his name because Herb, he basically did this. That's my name now. Your name is whatever I want to call you. That's what Herb did. Herb took his name off of his shirt. The crazy thing about this is, Justin. So he was 4 for 14 tonight. He has been through a gauntlet of hell these past 2 games. Drew Holiday just did the same shit to him the night before, and then you got to come again. Then you got to play against Herb after dealing with Drew. Man, best of luck to you, man. Off night.
Who doesn't have an off night against Herb Jones? Seriously,
I mean, it's a very short list. If I had to think of a name, the only name recently that pops into my head is probably Devin Booker.
Yeah, that's fair. We really talked about this, Lido, on the podcast, and we've been talking about it in the off season. And we talked about Herb Jones shooting. I know we kind of like joked back and forth about being 37, 38%, but like if he's going to shoot the ball like that and then defend, I mean, he's legitimately a 3-and-D guy.
So he had some cases he switched on to Julius Randle. Some cases he switched on to he was on Brunson. He started on Brunson, but he would like literally whoever accepted whoever set the screen, he would roll on. The only time tonight I saw her probably like overwhelmed was when Mitch Rob got a rebound over him and he put it back. But like Mitch Rob 6'11", dog. Herb Jones he got people in holy hell. Like I ain't talking about regular hell. I'm talking about hellfire and brimstone hell, like hell. You bro, 4 for 14, dog. We talking about the dude who had command over the FIBA team. That's your man. That's what we talking about right now. Yo, man. Rescind that invitation. Give me that. Look, Justin. Give me that. That's mine.
So an important stat here. First quarter, the Pelicans hold them to 12 points, and in the last quarter, fourth quarter, 19 points. That's winning basketball. It doesn't matter what they do offensively. If they're going to play like that on the defensive side of the ball every night, they're going to be tough to beat.
That's the thing, man. You know, you look at Dyson, you look at Herb, you look at, I don't know, whoever the hell else coming to the game, right? Bro, whatever they give you offensively is lanyard. It's not necessarily needed because Brandon, CJ, and Zion, they already unstoppable, right? And then you add Jonas into the mix. Bro, think about this. Matt Ryan had an off night tonight. He's 1 for 8. The thing about it though, Matt Ryan has so much activity defensively. He made
how many tips did he have?
Bro, he was all over the place. He had some really good pocket passes. He got Jonas the ball like in his spot. Matt Ryan is a high IQ. I'm gonna tell you this. Willie Green he gonna have to drag Matt Ryan out of this shit. I'm telling you. Not and granted, the shot he ain't gonna go 1 for 8 every time. But I'm gonna tell you this. I appreciate the wherewithal of being 1 for 8 because he could have been 1 for 3. Could have been 1 for 4.
I'm glad you brought this up. Oh wow, do we have a special guest here? Oh wow, Chris Connor's here.
Got the do-rag demon himself.
You know what?
Wow.
I'm glad Chris Connor just joined because we just got done talking about Herb Jones.
Herb's been fantastic. Are you gonna
tell you what's that?
Yeah, I mean, are you gonna gloat to me about 3 games because we have I guess a wager that hasn't been completely constructed yet?
Of course, hasn't been completely constructed. Of course, we were just talking about Matt Ryan, Chris. So Lito brings up a point, goes 1 for 8 from the field, but he still affects the game. I thought he had a couple nice pocket passes tonight, especially one to JV there in the third quarter. And then deflection-wise, defensively, he was pretty active tonight. What did you see from him overall?
Still putting up the attempts, but showing good IQ, man. I mean, that's really what it's about. I don't care about what a lot of these dudes, whether we talking BI, or we talking Dyson, or we talking Matt Ryan in this example, or Herb, or any of them. You're gonna have bad nights. You're gonna have nights where everything feels like, you practice and warm up, you couldn't miss, and then the game starts and things don't go the same way. It's gonna happen for Hawkins and a lot of these dudes when Trey comes back. But it's the attempt and doing the other things and not letting a poor shooting night throw off the rest of your game. And for Matt, dude that is out there, he's doing exactly what you would assume a guy in his position from a contract perspective should be doing. He's giving you all the effort. He's not trying to do too much. He's staying within his role, but he's playing really smart, man. It's the small things and those effort plays, whether it be boxing out, whether it be rebounding, whether it be contesting shots, whether it be giving JV his first and his easiest look of the game in the fourth quarter. Things like that, they add up. The shooting, I'm not concerned about that because he's going to be a threat regardless. But I think it's those other elements, all right, he forces he forced a turnover, I think, in the first, or it was early in the second quarter. Some dudes on the team wouldn't have known what to do, would have tried to dribble. No, he looked immediately for Zion and just gave him the ball. And that was he supposed to do.
And he had a huge hustle play. I think he dove on the floor there in the late first quarter, second quarter, that led to a transition bucket, like those little things. Lito, let's talk about Brandon and Zion. Every time the Knicks got close tonight, they had an answer. Let's start with Brandon, and then Chris, let's talk with Zion and what you saw from him tonight.
Well, I can tell you, let me give you my detailed analysis of Brandon Ingram tonight.
Yeah.
He looked at RJ Barrett, who was guarding him the majority of the time, and he stared at the goal. Then he looked back at RJ, and then he shot it over him, and then he said, "You a little boy." And then at times they rolled Julius Randle out to him, and Julius Randle was the main defender on him. And then Brandon was like, "Damn, is he a little boy?" And then he shot it over him again, and he was like, "Damn, he a little boy." So my detailed synopsis of the game is, I don't know why I have this hatred for the Knicks. I just do. I look at them like Lakers, and that's why I have their pants in my background, because you can't name your that's why you can't name your ball club after a set of men's pants and think that you're going to be successful. It's just my personal take on it. You can go ahead and talk about Zion now.
I thought I was talking about Brandon, but I mean,
I was talking about. All right, my fault.
I mean, you're again by close to a midsection and can't and forgetting about where you're supposed to be. Can you answer the man's question, please? I'm gonna go back on mute.
I'm talking about Zion. I'm sorry. I was all jacked up on Mountain Dew. What? So Zion. All right. So listen, Zion does not make. Yeah, it was my foot was on the line. I ain't gonna lie. It was like they threw a flag. Zion physically does not make sense. Zion, I tweeted this, he was moving at full speed. He stepped off the wrong foot. He laid that bitch up, and it had so much English, and it went right in. And I'm just trying to understand the physics of that. Like, it does not, like, I need to know the lab the guy was created in, because like that is not a human. Yo, the fact that you can like just have that type of power, right, when attacking the goal, but then like it's such a finesse shot when you lay it up. It's like, how do you turn that off and on? You know what I'm saying? Like I know that probably sounds crazy, but like I don't know how you differentiate between when to do either of those things. I think Zion played a great game tonight. I mean, I feel like Zion has played great, so far this season. I mean, I would like more rebounds from him, but I mean, shit, man, 12 for 17, it was light work. He looked at Julius Randle again, and he said, same thing Brandon said, you a little boy.
I thought,
give me that.
Chris, first off, I agree with you, Lito. I thought he was pretty good defensively tonight. Sometimes got switched on Jalen Brunson, and I thought he kind of handled his own Zion. But Chris, the touch that this man has.
That's crazy.
Pause. Wait, I could let me finish. Jesus Christ. Chris, Zion Williamson is really good at basketball.
Yes, he is. But that's not surprising, man. I while yes, during the game and in the moment, you see Zion do things that in all reality you've seen him do before, in different games against different matchups. So it shouldn't really surprise you, and he's generational. And it's kind of the same for BI. Like, neither of those guys really did much tonight that was like, oh, I haven't seen that yet. I haven't seen that before. I think to me, what I've seen so far in these two games, even in tonight, was just another example of process and parts being different, because the process is allowing them to, I think, to look for some of these situations to be a little bit easier, slightly, them advantage hunting on the other side of the ball, and them not having to do it all just by themselves. It not just being transition buckets. It not being tough contested shots night in and night out, consistently possession after possession. Zion really doesn't count, because contested shots, what's contested for someone else is like he still makes 60% of the time. That's part of what makes him generational.
Right.
But the other side of it that I'm noticing is that along with that is that the spacing is different. The spacing is a little bit better. So even adding Matt Ryan and having a Hawkins out there along with CJ, and Herb Jones knocks down a few jumpers and so on and so forth, in combination with you moving the ball, it makes those two lives that much. I didn't see Brandon sweat, respectfully. He didn't look tired at any point of the game. Zion had moments where he looked tired, but that's kind of, at this point of the year, I expect that from Zion. But Brandon just kind of looked like he was going through the motions a good part of the game. And then you look up and he has 26 points. But it looks a lot better when the spacing is improved. In the process of getting these points, of getting these assists, of generating offense, at least the idea of it is better.
Well said, Chris. Lito, I want to talk about Willie Green, because you had talked about a couple weeks ago saying that you wanted him to be more assertive and start calling his own plays and stop looking over his shoulder. I keep seeing more of that. Tonight, I thought he had some really good substitution packages. Again, once again, late in quarters, he would sub in all of his shooters. But tonight, and Chris Fives mentioned this before too, with the CJ Jonas lineups, I like the way he's mixing and matching tonight. Or last two games. What have you seen from him?
I think Willie's been doing a great job rotation wise. I think Willie's also doing something that like we've been asking for some time now, but I'm glad he's finally doing it. He's hunting matchups. He's seeing certain things on the floor and making adjustments, and it feels like in real time. Like, last year we complained about the delayedness of it, and I think Willie would talk about, and Chris brought this up a number of times, it would take about 7 to 10 games for them to watch the film, and in order to make those adjustments, it feels like now it's a little bit more organic. It's not as robotic as before. It feels like he's getting a natural like feel of the game. Like coaching is kind of like playing, right? Like you gotta know when to go with your move, and you gotta figure out what that move is that you can go with, and you just gotta feel comfortable in that. And because a lot of times, as coaching, as in a player, while you're on a team, right, and you have other coaches or you have other players, that one-on-one matchup is kind of like you're on an island, and it's technically a one-on-one matchup against the other head coach. So you gotta kind of make the right decisions there. And I'm proud of Willie for doing that.
Yeah, and Chris, the Knicks were coming on a back-to-back, and I felt like the Pelicans tonight, they were just like, we're gonna hit them in the mouth early. And I feel like we were gonna.
I was not about composure. Go ahead.
It's hard when I see Lito. I felt like tonight the Pelicans wanted to be there, New York did not.
Yeah. I mean, look, man, them. You could see early, man. Some of the lackadaisical passes. You could see that they didn't have their energy. A good majority of it was still stuck in Atlanta. It just, it was kind of is what it is. This is commonplace. And I think especially early on in the season where some people are still finding their legs, finding their shape, I could see how this would be one of those games where, I mean, look, when you play a team, especially like Atlanta, it's up and down, the pace is high. That game, came down to, I believe, the final seconds. Yeah, I mean, and if you're the Pelicans, it's what you're supposed to do. You are supposed to make it difficult from them as soon as the game starts. And that was encouraging that they came out motivated to play, motivated to win, and take advantage of a slow start, because you knew, and it eventually happened. You knew the Knicks would start to find themselves. Some of those threes they were missing, that were short, they were going to start to go in. And they got the lead down to 6 or 5. I mean, it happened. And then, the Pelicans did what I think most good teams, or most teams with some of their level of top talented players should be able to do. Should be able to step in and say, no, this is going back to 10, and it's going back to 12. And then before you look, it's going to be at 17, and the game's going to be over.
And I thought Zion and Brandon did that throughout the game tonight. There were multiple runs from the Knicks there in the second half, for sure, the third and fourth. I thought Brandon Lito, in the last 2 possessions of the third quarter, Brandon hits that tough long 2. I forget who was over, and then he hits the and 1 the next possession. Like that's what stars do, man. And I saw it from both of them tonight. Is he muted? Lito's muted.
I'm sorry. I was calling Jalen Brunson a little boy. That's crazy. You missed that. Damn. Hey, listen. What's I just said his name, but like the guy who's hogging the ball at FIBA, like who Brandon couldn't get it. That's what we talking about, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, man. It's crazy. Like when your 2 best players better than the other team 2 best players, and then like when you get on the floor, like it's nothing they can do. They just kind of look like children. Chris said something that was very important, and I just kind of want to add on to the point. Chris said the game looked easy. Brandon Ingram is playing at a point of mid-range mastery. There's nothing, especially with this new given space that he has. Bro, he's never had space like this before. And he's kind of never had, I want to say, this version of Zion where usually, like, Zion is going to get his 24 for him is kind of like a slow night, right? But I'm seeing Zion like pass up opportunities to get the ball back to Brandon, get the ball to other people, make sure other people get involved, because at the end of the day, like, there's no answer for Zion regardless. He can always go and get any shot he wants to whenever he wants to. But seeing this version of Zion being, I guess, kind of like, I want to say more empathetic to his teammates in a sense, because, like, he's a man child, he's generational. Everybody he plays with may not be generational, but Brandon has this thing where it's the mid-range game. It comes to him. He's listed as 6'9", I guess. When he's shooting this shit, he like 6'11". So really, it really like is matchup. It's not really so much matchup dependent, because once he shoots the ball, he's always going to the next level, right? I think that Brandon and Zion are doing a good job of like being cohesive. I just think that wasn't there in the past.
As you said last podcast, playing together. For the first time, they're actually playing together.
But I mean, I will say, man, it's a lot easier to play together. Of course, they're older and they're more mature now, more comfortable in who they are in this league. But the parts are just like the talent support what they want to do. Like in the postseason, it's going to be completely different, right? If this team makes the postseason, but I don't think it makes sense to play Zion or Brandon. Like if you're let's say you're Golden State, and I'm really curious to see how a team like Golden State, no matter who's out there, how they decide to to guard these two individuals, because how long will it make sense to say, okay, we are just going to sell out for Brandon at the spot he wants to stop at, or sell out for Zion at the paint, when with Zion it may not matter, and some of the contested shots that we see Brandon making may not matter. But if this team is moving the basketball, are you going to live in the regular season? It's like Sacramento, for example. What works for them in the regular season? Are you going to sell out and allow CJ McCollum to shoot uncontested practice threes? Are you going to sell out or even allow Matt Ryan consistently to shoot? Are you going to sell out for Jordan Hawkins? And what are you going to do when Trey Murphy returns? That is the magic of this style of offense. Ball movement brings liberty and confidence. And them being able to move the basketball consistently, it's empowering others, it's creating better habits. And I think it puts defenses in interesting situations, because if you try to trap these dudes, I mean, you're not 100% guaranteed to get what you're looking for. But now with the weapons being easy, no disrespect to some of the shooters, but we've seen the corner threes and we've seen some of the individuals that you're used to passing the ball to. Now Herb Jones hasn't missed a three all year, right? You have some much tougher decisions to make, specifically in the regular season. It's going to be really interesting to see how teams deal with that, because it's tougher. And just by small improvements, we're not even talking about when 25 gets back on the floor. When Trey Murphy gets on the floor, they're going to be a fucking problem. If they play anywhere close to this level of style, they continue these attempts and moving the basketball.
I'm so glad you mentioned that, Chris, because when Trey Murphy gets back, holy shit. Let's talk about a guy you just mentioned. Lito, I'll start with you. We'll close it up with this. Jordan Hawkins. I mean, I think he's the biggest surprise of this for the first two games, because he comes in, you talk about how he kind of struggled. He's definitely struggled in summer league, whatever. Preseason, okay. Regular season, he's been fine. Like, not only fine on the offensive end, I mean, he was 3 of 6 from deep tonight, but defensively, he's fine. What have you seen from him? What do you like from him? Because we've always talked about his confidence. His confidence is off the charts. But what have you liked from him these first 2 games?
Jordan Hawkins, he's a hooper for one. He's a hooper. He does this shit. The second part of it is he's delusional. He does not believe what you believe that he is. He thinks that he's much greater than his current situation. I have had a conversation with him. Damn, that was crazy. Damn, it's crazy I can say that. I have had a conversation with him. But in the conversations I have, like, it doesn't come off as arrogant. He's not brash. I'm just saying, I could tell by how he walk around on the court. I can see it in his jumper, dog. Listen, when he shoots the ball, right? There was a play where I think Matt found him, and his feet were set. Soon as Matt made the move, his feet were set. He was anticipating the pass. The shot was already made in his mind. He's a goddamn hooper. And the crazy thing about that, he was 3 for 6, but he had 4 rebounds. And one of the rebounds that we didn't see, or one of the potential rebounds he should have had 5, was a putback dunk on a match shot. He was about. That was crazy. He was very close to dunking it, but the ball bumped the other way. Man, Jordan just a hooper, man. He playing defense. He fighting through picks. You know what I'm saying? Like, he making the right plays. Just a very confident guy, man. I just can't wait to see how he grows as a player.
Yeah, Chris, go ahead.
More than a shooter. I think that's what's important to him. I mean, he has a luxury of being something that this team needs already, that this team desperately needed, like, but also being able to show some of the other things he can do on the floor. I mean, I think a dude in his position arrived for the Pelicans at the right time, because you can see that it's going to be really, really interesting to see how Willie's confidence with Jordan grows, consistently. Like, it was a point in the second quarter, I'm like, but damn, Jordan might play the whole second quarter because like he's doing everything right. And some of the better lineups, and I think this might be a game where you look at the plus minus and it really shows who was in part of some important lineups today. If I remember correctly, I think Jordan Hawkins he was on both of them. That JV CJ lineup that's flanker with Matt Ryan, Hawkins, and if it wasn't Dyson, I think maybe in the second half it might have been Larry. Or in the beginning of the fourth quarter, it might have been Larry Nance. But no, it wasn't Larry Nance because JV was out there. But regardless, like Lito said, he is delusional. Like, he doesn't know if he's 3 for 3 or 0 for 3. I guarantee you the 4th shot going up. I guarantee you, the 7th shot is going up. He plays in a way that you can repeat night in and night out. And defensively, man, I think that's the thing. He fights, and he played some really good defense on Brunson. If he does that, Willie Green's going to want to have him out there. And it just so happens that the team really needs him.
And to your point, Chris, Willie Green trusting a rookie and letting him play. Like, this is more growth from a coach, like reading the game and being like, okay, Hawkins is hot. Like, just like how Matt Ryan played the first game, Hawkins got 18 minutes tonight. And as you said, he was there with some big runs. Okay, so Lito, let's close it out here. 2-0. They're going to get Golden State on a back-to-back.
Yeah.
Same effort on Monday. Got to be same effort on Monday.
I mean, Justin, they bleed. You know what I'm saying? Like, they bleed blood. Like, I don't understand, what that means. I understand who on that team. I know Steph over there. I get it. No Draymond.
Draymond, well, he's coming back Sunday, but I'd be shocked if they back to back.
Pray to God he plays. I pray to God he plays. Because the thing is, when he was doing all that shit last time, player one wasn't out there. He not good. You can't keep that same energy, talk that same shit. Brandon a different player than he was at that point at that time last year. Like, I'm looking at this game like if this team is the team that I want them to be, I want them to take this game personal. They tried to play us on national television. Nah, take this personal. You know what I'm saying? Like, let the make this team Phoenix, right? This is the new rival for us. I feel like you take this game, and then like they 1 year removed from being a champs. It's a good challenge.
Chris, go ahead.
I have zero faith that we're going to see anyone that really matters for Golden State on Monday. I'm sorry, Pelicans fans, man. This is you talk about rituals. Steph Curry not playing in New Orleans. I would be shocked. Now they have the Rockets, and I don't think that the Rockets lost both of their games, but I believe both of them were pretty competitive. Man, I mean, possibly if they end up taking care of business, but I'd be almost shocked if we see anyone that matters to go. Says I hope we definitely ain't seeing Draymond. If Draymond's coming back tomorrow, like reported, he's not playing Monday, so we'll see. No, yeah, I mean these new rules are going to be put up to test real soon, as soon as Monday. So we'll see.
Hey, but
like common and
if you don't play, that's even better. Yo, take the win. I don't give a fuck who in their lineup. You know what I'm saying? Like, you play who in front of you.
I completely agree. I mean, it sucks for the fans not to see Steph Curry, but I'm here for wins. So, like, comment, subscribe. Let's hear from our friends over there at DraftKings Sportsbook. NBA fans, the wait is over. Basketball's back, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is celebrating with an unbeatable offer. New customers can score $200 instantly in bonus bets for throwing down $5 on the NBA. Win or lose, it doesn't matter. You'll start the season with an instant dub. Basketball's more fun when you're in on the action. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code BOOT. New customers can get $200 in bonus bets instantly for betting just $5. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code BOOT. The crown is yours. One more thing, guys. What about Zion Williamson multiple times tonight flexing? And then also, I don't know if they show this on the broadcast, but he on one of the possessions, they call a timeout and they just completely went off and pumped up the crowd and all that shit. I love that shit. I love it.
You know what he was doing? He was
the bad seat's back.
He was calling
That's it, Chris.
He was calling Julius Randle a little boy. Your little boy.
Chris, you gotta watch Major League. We gotta fix that.
I don't.
We do. You do.
Okay.
Please.
All right.
All right. See y'all later.
New York, what?